Hi, today I want to explore the weave of the cosmos, a mystery that has been fascinating humanity from Egypt to Greece, from the Hermetic text to the Christian and Judaic Bible. The sum of the most ancient writings from Hermes Trismegistus tells us that nothing is void, nothing is without life, because the cosmos itself is held together by the Logos, the living word of God. This logos orders the universe through powers called dunameis. These are not abstract ideas, but living forces within the universe. The ancients mapped them as seven planets, the elemental laws of hot and cold, wet and dry. This includes everything from humanity to the earth to solid things and to the cosmos, planets, and the spirits. The Greeks named these as gods like Zeus, Ares, and Aphrodite. The Egyptians knew them as Ra, Thoth, and Isis. The Bible speaks of them as principalities and powers, or as the angels who mediate the divine order. Before you and I awaken to spirit, to God, the human soul descends through the planetary spheres and receives a garment of influences. Call them DNA, call them the astral matrix. It's the burden Hermes refers to when he says the mind is heavy laden with what the body and the soul carry. We find our ego selves pulled by desire, fear, limitation, and time itself, all woven by these cosmic rulers. Some call them astrology, others call them the gods of fate. Left alone, we believe we're victims or prisoners of this weave of cosmology and DNA, as it were. But the Hermetic path reveals something astonishing. When the human mind turns towards Father Good or Nous or Divine Mind, we're no longer bound by the dunameis. We can use their powers to help us in our own lives and help humanity untie the tangled web of that same cosmological architecture. This is tough, so stay with me. In other words, the same celestial powers remain, but they shift from jailers into allies. Mars can become courage, Venus can become compassion, Saturn can become patience. The stars no longer rule us from above us as fate, but align with God, and they're used as instruments by spirit within us. The great teacher Hermes himself was given a choice after his vision of God. He could have ascended beyond the stars into the Ogdoad, which some call the eighth density, the realm of pure God. But he asked the Logos, who some call Jesus, some call the Word, or the directive of Nous, instead to remain on earth. Hermes chose to stay in the cosmic web to help untangle humanity's knots. This is the way of the shepherd, or in Eastern terms, the bodhisattva. To awaken is not simply to escape, but to serve. Even in sleep, when our conscious mind gravitates towards spirit, the body's not abandoned. Nature, the elements, and the powers continue to sustain the body. Breath moves, it renews us. The heart beats, the soul is cared for, and we're healed. The Logos never leaves its creation. We're always being carried, whether by instinct, by cosmic law, or by direct alignment with spirit, consciously or unconsciously, which can get confusing. If you're like me and try to understand every dream as if it's some kind of directive from spirit, sometimes in sleep, what we get as dreams is merely memories or fears that are reconstructed by our subconscious brain to create stories, movies in our mind that make sense or simply need to be observed by our shepherd mind. The message for us today is this: we're not at the mercy of the stars or astrology. We are co-creators with God. When we align with God, the very powers that once enslaved us can become the tools of healing and guidance. When we align with Logos, we stop being played by the cosmic orchestra and instead learn to play the instrument of our humanity, of our ego, and the world with divine harmony. So the question for you is this: are you ready to choose God, Nous, divine spirit, to awaken to this new divine order within you, the kingdom within, and to transform your relationship with the cosmos from fate to freedom? Think about it.